very interesting the other day. They published the judgment, specific sections, relevant portions of the judgment. It was a lawyer, very brilliant, in the newspaper. He bought a full page and just published specific sections of the judgment. That is where it called on us to release the money, and where it gave the conditionalities, how the money should be used, and what Lagos State government should also do. He just did that, and then he just signed at the bottom, some law firm, I've forgotten which one it was. And I looked at it, I said, but this thing couldn't be clearer. Why is it that people don't seem to get this? You know, so if things are to change, he must, if he does not revert, the president will not release the money to them. It is as simple as that, because we've been asked to release the money to 20 local government areas, not to whatever it is it 36 or 53, whatever it is, ill-defined, and entities that simply have no legal standing. Let's move away a little bit.
I'd just like to check this in before we move on. 1993, you made your first trip to Ghana, what you described as the lowest point in your life. 2003, 10 years later, you went back to Ghana as a representative of the president of your country.
Yes.
Can you put this into perspective?
It's an amazing thing. It's just prophetic, sweetheart. It's just prophetic because when I went in 1993, it was December 1993, and I remember vividly because they brought me out before the whole church, and the bishop, as he then was, said that you know, this is a young lawyer from Nigeria, one of the best young lawyers in Nigeria, but the devil is trying all kinds of tricks with him, and that we're going to pray for him now as a church, and he said that anything that wants to come against him should come through us first, and that's what we're going to do. And they all prayed. I was so touched. That was December 1993. 10 years later, December 2003, by prophetic design, I happened, you know, Mr. President asked me to go and represent him at the same church, all right? Because the bishop was now elevated to the position of an archbishop. People came from all over, from America, Europe. It was a very big occasion. The president of Ghana was there. Some other presidents were there. Our president couldn't make it because Queen Elizabeth was coming, I think, to Nigeria or something like that. So, but he asked me to represent him there. So I was at the same pulpit where they prayed for me 10 years earlier, to the month. And when I finished delivering the president's message, our president's message, I told them, you know, that look, this is a remarkable testimony. And it's just by, you know, do you want to go inside? You all right? Better go inside, sweetheart. Okay. Well done, huh? Okay. Sorry, it's in Zuma. Bye. Bye for now. Close the door properly, okay? That it was just by orchestration of the Holy Spirit that 10 years later that I am there representing the most powerful man on the African continent. And that goes to show you. And of course, the Archbishop now said he knew where I would be 10 years ago, where I'd be today. And he said he knows where I'll be 10 years from now. He said, so he said, I told you this would happen. You just wait to see. There's a lot more to come. There's man of destiny that will not go through challenges. And you cannot have a message unless you have been through a mess. Without a mess, you can't have a message. Without a test, you can't have a testimony. You understand? So it's good sometimes to have a difficult period. And like, you know, Charlie Boy was saying earlier, it's not what you go through that matters. It's whether you come out of it. Yeah. Whether you come out of it stronger. And that which does not destroy you can only serve to make you stronger. So we thank everything.
Now, well, I've been following you, some of the interviews you've had, and I see you talk with so much passion, especially when it comes to issues, you know, surrounding your boss. And I wonder whether some of your colleagues share the same passion with you.
You have to ask them that. No, I think by and large, people come into government and into politics for different reasons. You know, I'm the kind of person that was taught and brought up on the principle that you have to be totally loyal. Otherwise, you just don't play ball at all. You just don't get involved. You've got to be totally loyal to your boss. Through thick and thin. And I happen to have a boss who has taken me like his own son. It's a privilege. It really is a privilege. Before I came into government, you know, the way the president has taken me, has imbued confidence in me, has opened up, you know, so many things to me, and I've learned so much from that. And I think most important of all is this. You know, like I said earlier, I was brought up in a very conservative family who, you know, my father believed passionately in the unity of Nigeria, in joining hands with people from the East. He was leader of the NCNC, leader of opposition SCC for the Western region for some time. He was known to want to build bridges with the North, and indeed he did. And we went through a lot of persecution in the southwestern part of the country for that, because we were directly opposed to the policies and views of people like Chief Awolowo, who believed in slightly different views in terms of regional power and so on and so forth. And interesting, because they all started together and they went their different ways. But anyway, I always believed in that, and I was a great conservative from a conservative family. But with all the things that happened under Abacha and before Abacha, under the annulment Babangida, the mysterious death of Abiola, the way our people were created and subjected to all sorts, and I'm talking about the people of the Southwest, you know, everybody that was anybody in the Southwest was either in jail or in exile, or was being hounded at that time, if you remember. And I stopped believing in Nigeria. But two things happened. The first thing was that, again, I go back to my bishop. He sat me down one day when the president came in, just after the president had been elected, and he reminded me, he said, look, in 1997 or 1998, he went to Nigeria. He was guest of the CPM, Bishop Ezekiel of CPM Church, at a bishop's conference, and that the Lord used him to issue a prophecy. And he showed me the tape of this thing. 600 pastors and bishops were there. And the prophecy then, this was in 1997, Abacha was in full sway then. The prophecy then was that, and he knows nothing about Nigerian politics, he's a man of God. He said the prophecy then was that there's a man called Olusegun Obasanjo who is in jail right now. He's going to come out to rule Nigeria again. And that this man